How's it going, everybody? It's GombaDX, and welcome back to another ranked draft of Core Set 2020. We're getting into the later days of the format. There have certainly been a lot of ranked drafts. I think this is like number 9 or something. Don't remember for sure. But, yeah, been drafting a whole lot. So our opening pack has a mythic rare Planeswalker, so it's very likely we're just going to take that. It is Mu Yanling, the Sky Dancer. She is a 3 mana, 2 loyalty planeswalker as a +2. Up to one target creature gets -2, -0, and loses flying. And -3, create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying, and -8, you get an emblem with islands you control have tap to draw a card. So this card is pretty incredible. It should be pretty easy if you play her in the early game to just use her +2 to shut off one of your opponent's creatures for a turn, just to make sure she survives without getting hit, and then just immediately use her -3 to make a 4/4 flyer. And if that is all the value you get out of her, just a single 4/4 flyer, that's still great. That's 3 mana for a 4/4 flyer. Granted, it'll be a turn later, but still. And then just the potential of being able to keep her around and potentially get even more is pretty brutal. So I'm just going to take Mu Yanling here. There are some other notable good cards here. Howling Giant is a really good card to just have at the top end of your curve in your green decks because it's massive and it comes with multiple little chump blockers in case you're at low life and you've been getting beat down. Gives you some blockers, and it's got reach, so it stops the flying threats as well. There's Shock, which is just really cheap, efficient removal. Brandborn Cutthroat is a card I've tried out a lot. Definitely looks pretty fun, but hasn't worked out incredibly well for me. But yeah, those are probably the best 3 cards. Mu Yanling, Howling Giant, Shock. There's other good stuff. Moldervine Reclamation, Brandborn, Battalion's fine. But yeah, definitely taking Mu Yanling. And it looks like the bots are going to be very kind to us today. We're just going to immediately follow that up with another blue rare. This is Drawn from Dreams. 4 mana for a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on bottom of your library in any order. So this card is fantastic in a deck with a lot of removal or a lot of bombs. Just cards that you want to draw from your deck. So I guess like the way that I stated that makes it sound kind of dumb. Like, if you have cards in your deck that you want to draw, this card is good. But, I mean, like, if you have certain cards in your deck that are just really high power level, then this card goes up a lot in value. Because you really want to search for those cards, because those cards are just like game-winning kind of things. If that makes any sense. So I'm just going to pick up the Drawn from Dreams. Kind of forgot to look through the rest of that pack because I was pretty excited to just immediately get past another blue rare. So apologies about that. Let's see what we've got in pack 3 here. So we've got Yarok's Wave Crasher. It's a 4 mana 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. So if you cast it by itself, it's just a 4 mana 4/4. It's a little bit of a nombo with Mu Yanling. Like, if we play Mu Yanling and create a 4/4 flyer token, and that's our only creature on the board, then we just can't cast the Wave Crasher, because we'll have to return the token to our hand and kill it, so that's kind of bad. But I think that a 4 mana 4/4 is pretty good stats, and there's a lot of good ETB effects in blue that we can hope to pick up in the future. Frostlinks is a very good one. Tap down a creature. As well as, I forget the name of the card, but a 3 mana 2/1 flyer. When it enters battlefield, draw a card. I feel like we should be able to get things that combo with it, and I do like just staying in blue for now until we see a really compelling reason to switch colors, which none of these cards here are that compelling. I'd say probably the best one is like Goblin Smuggler, because this card can work very well in very aggressive decks, but I kind of want to just stick to blue for now. I'm going to pick up the Yarok's Wave Crasher, definitely hoping to pick up some Frostlinks and cards like that. Alright, well here we can't really stay to blue because there are no blue cards. There is a Tranquil Cove, which could actually be the pick if I still just feel really non-committal here, and I kind of do because all of the cards in this pack are not very exciting. They're definitely all kind of the filler sort of cards that you're just going to have in your deck. Probably the most exciting card in here is Overcome, and I don't know if we're going to be playing in a deck with enough creatures to get a lot of value out of Overcome. You definitely want to have a deck with a whole lot of creatures if you're using Overcome, because Overcome with just like 2 dudes on board is pretty bad. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna pick up a Tranquil Cove and wait for like a good reason to switch. Alright, well this is a good reason to switch. This is just a pile of decent green cards, like Leafkin Druid and Netcaster Spider are both very good, and then Ferocious Pup is good in the right decks, such as decks with Yarok's Wavecrasher, and Feral Invocation's okay. Lavakin Brawler is an exciting red card. God's Willing is a fine white card. And then there's Patterned Matcher, which is a card that I play all of the time, way too often. There's also Cerulean Drake. If I want to stay to blue, I can totally just take Cerulean Drake and just be the lamest dude. But I think at this point, I will just pick up a green card here. Maybe I should have taken that Overcome, because Overcome does combo really well with cards that make multiple creatures like Ferocious Pup, and I might just take Ferocious Pup here because it has an ETB effect to work with Yarok's Wavecrasher. I kind of just want the Leafkin Druid more, though. I just really like ramping. That's just a personal taste kind of thing. I just like getting a bunch of mana. I think you're fine with any of these 3 green cards are fine picks. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Leafkin Druid here. Alright, and now we can pick up a Ferocious Pup or an Octoprophet. Both have Enter the Battlefield effects to redo with Wavecrasher, but Ferocious Pup works better with Wavecrasher because I can play Pup on 3 and then Wavecrasher on 4. Octoprophet works better by itself, though, because a 3/3 is just more of an impressive blocker and attacker, and I really like the Scry 2 ETB on it. So let's see. What's our curve like right now? It's kind of early to be considering curve really highly, but we do have 2 4-drops. So probably, like, that's a very slight reason to just go Ferocious Pup instead. But I think I'll do it. Gift of Paradise was worth mentioning in there as well. Because in our last deck, we did show off kind of the power of Gift of Paradise, just letting you splash off-color bombs, and really helping with your mana just in, like, 2-color decks. So here I can take the Octoprophet. I'm not going to take the Vorst Claw, because I feel like you only need, like, 2 or 3 really high mana cost cards, and you can usually get those pretty late. And if I pick up Vorst Claw now, and then I just, like, open a Bomb Rare high mana cost card, then it's possible I'll even just, like, cut Vorst Claw later. Here I might just take Gift of Paradise. It's definitely Gift of Paradise or Metropolis Sprite here. I could also take Blossoming Sands, and then I just have some dual lands ready in case I end up splashing white, and just end up in green, blue, white again. Then I'm just, like, ready for that, I guess. But Gift of Paradise helps me be ready for that as well. Yeah, I like both these cards. I'm going to pick up the Gift of Paradise here. And see where we go from there. We got a Centaur Courser, a Bone to Ash. Both of them are fine. I'm actually just going to go with the Centaur Courser here. And this pack seems pretty bad. Zephyr Charge shows up like every single draft, and I'm never very excited about it because I always tend to be in colors that have some flyers anyway. Anvilrot Raptors, whatever, and then every other card is in a different color, I should say. There's like no way I'm splashing any of these either, so I guess I'll just toss the Fencing Ace in the sideboard. And that's a pretty late Goblin Smuggler, so I'll just pick that up because there's nothing in our colors. And I guess Angelic Gift maybe would be playable, depending on what we have at the top end of our curve. Splash in a God's Willing. Now let's take the Ferocious Pup. And now we've definitely got some cards to make sure that Yarok's Wavecrasher is getting us a tiny bit of value most of the time. Alright, heading in to pack 2. So we have Warden of Evos Isle. We don't have any other flyers yet, but even by itself, this card is okay. And in blue-green, we definitely should be able to pick up some more flyers, just some Boreal Elementals at common, maybe an Air Elemental at uncommon. We could also just take a Pacifism and just splash in Pacifism. We do have a Tranquil Cove and a Gift of Paradise. And then we have Brineborn Cutthroat, but I don't really have any instants right now. And just like a random Sedge Scorpion, I guess. Or Evolving Wilds just to fix mana here. It's in my sideboard. Alright, just a bunch of white cards. Well, Repeated Reverberation is definitely not for this deck. We're not in red, and even if we were in red, you also need to have just like some really cheap instants and sorceries to be able to cast this thing reasonably, because you have to cast the 4 mana and then cast your second instant and sorcery right afterwards. So like unless you have a bunch of instant sorceries that cost like between 1 and 3, that would be good to duplicate. This card is just a million mana. Anyways, yeah, between Brineborn, Warden, and like Evolving Wilds probably, or Pacifism. Guess I don't have many 2-mana cards right now, but at the same time I have absolutely nothing that combos with the Cutthroat currently. But even if you don't have anything that like combos with it, like you can still just ambush a creature and block it. Yeah, I'm actually just going to take a Cutthroat here just because it's a 2-mana card. I need some 2-mana cards. It can just show up and ambush things and block them. And, you know, I like them a lot. And here is a Murder, which is fantastic removal, but we're not in black, and we only have 1 Gift of Paradise, and Tranquil Cove does not tap for black. So, probably can't take Murder. We can take a Thicket Crasher. In our colors, we could take Dawning Angel if we're splashing into white. And that's pretty much it. This pack is pretty empty in terms of green and blue. Guess I'm taking a Thicket Crasher. And what do we have here? We've got a Bone to Ash, Greenwood Sentinel, Pattern Matcher, Pulse of Murasa. Don't have any like late game bomb type creatures that I'd like to pick up with the Pulse of Murasa yet, but I do think it's definitely a pretty good card for the late game. We only have one thing that we can pattern match, which is Ferocious Pup, but we can always pick up more as the draft continues since we're a little bit below halfway through the draft. Yeah, you know, let's stick to my usual strats and pick up 1,000 copies of Pattern Matcher. Alright, so here we got Shock is probably the best card. Oh, Flame Sweep, though. Flame Sweep's probably the best card. Flame Sweep's pretty ridiculous. Deals 2 damage to each creature, except for creatures you control with flying. So you could really just wipe the board in the early game. And if you have this in your hand, then you can know just not to commit very many creatures on board that won't survive this. And then really get your opponent maybe even kill 3 of their creatures for one of your cards. Flame Sweep is pretty nice. There's Portal of Sanctuary, but none of my Enter the Battlefield effects are impressive enough to play that yet. Like, we would just keep playing a Ferocious Pup or an Octoprophet for a lot of mana. There's Brightwood Tracker. I always like to have just a copy of Brightwood Tracker for late game. feels like we're getting really heavily cut on green-blue. But at the same time, it could just be that these packs just are not having good cards in green and blue. Because we didn't really get to take any good cards in green or blue in pick 1, 2, or 3 in this pack, to be fair. I mean, Brineborn Cutthroat's fine, but it's definitely not something you're super happy to first pick, you know? Guess I'll just take the Brightwood Tracker here. Alright. Metropolis Sprite it is. Wow. It is just not going well for the Simic cards. I mean, yeah, at this point we just start taking white cards to splash in. Like, I guess I'll just take an Eternal Isolation. Take Anticipate, or Cryptic Caves. I think I'll just take the Caves. This is a card that helps you in situations where you're mana flooded. You can just sack it to draw a card whenever you don't need its mana anymore. Oh, this is brutal. There's just, like, literally nothing in green and blue here. Evolving Wilds went this late, though, so that is an absolute slam of a pick. All these cards just suck anyway, no matter what colors we're in. I guess the best card's probably Undead Servants. I'm just going to take, like, the random gauntlets, maybe? Yeah. Well, we have green cards now, so that's good. We've got that, at the very least. I'm going to throw the Isolation to the sideboard again. For now. Looks like we probably need some more 2-drops, so we'll grab another Greenwood Sentinel. And now I'll just pick up, I guess I'll pick up the white card, because that's the only color that I might actually be playing, so I should just start taking random white cards when there's nothing else. And then, like, worst case scenario, I just have a gigantic stack of just mediocre white cards if I end up needing to splash in white. Wow, this really is an exact repeat of last draft. There is Sephara Sky's Blade as our rare in the final pack here. I think we have to just take that and hope to pick up more Gift of Paradise. We do have Tranquil Cove plus Evolving Wilds already, plus 1 Gift of Paradise. I think it's mildly splashable, and this card just so often, the second this hits the board, just wins the game, that it's definitely worth having a little bit of a rocky mana base for it. So we're definitely taking that, hoping to wheel a Wolf Rider Saddle, a Netcaster Spider, or a Thornwood Falls. So Sephara it is. Alright, there's a Gift of Paradise. I should probably play it safe and just take the Gift of Paradise right now. And I'm probably going to do that. There is a Netcaster Spider, Barkhide Troll, and Winged Words are all pretty great cards we're hoping to wheel, and if not any of those, we can pick up another Cryptic Caves. It's a little less likely that I want to play Cryptic Caves now that I am 3 colors, and it does tap for colorless only, but it is still a good card. So let's just pick up a Gift of Paradise here. Another Cryptic Caves. There's lots of Cryptic Caves in these packs. So we got Thrashing Bronodon, a 3-mana 3/4. I can naturalize with it. Thicket Crasher, 4-mana 4/3 trample. Give my other elementals trample. Or we're just taking an off-color card, like a Flame Sweep, and just trying to cast it off of Gift of Paradises. Don't think I want to go that deep on Gift of Paradise, so I think I'm just going to take Thrashing Bronodon. It's just more impressive of a power and toughness for its mana cost than the 4-mana 4/3. 4 toughness is kind of a lot. Alright, we have Pulsa Marasa, Rabid Bite, Netcaster Spider. We're getting some good cards in this pack. Probably want to just Rabid Bite here. I don't have a whole lot in the realm of removal. And by saying I don't have a whole lot, I mean I don't have any. So I think we are just kind of shoved into taking the rabbit bite here. Alright, Netcaster Spider is probably the pick. Frilled Sea Serpent is not the greatest, like, big dork. But it is starting to look like we're getting to the point we gotta just pick up some random big dorks, because in a deck with Leafkin plus double Gift of Paradise, we are kind of just trying to ramp into something big, and we can't only try to ramp into Sephara, because that's one card out of our 40-card decks. We can't just always have Sephara. We need just some other random big dorks to ramp into with our Gift of Paradise, like a Frilled Sea Serpent. So, is it worth just taking the Sea Serpent now, or do I believe I can get them later in these packs? And there's also Blossoming Sands to fix our mana. Wow, this is actually a really difficult pick. There's 3 very good cards to take. There's Blossoming Sands to fix our mana, which is important to cast the Sephara. Netcaster Spider, which is just a really good blocker. And Frilled Sea Serpent, because we need some stuff higher up on our curve. I'm going to take the Cryptic Caves out here because it does make our mana a little bit worse, and I think that's a little bit too high of a cost. Alright, let's go with... I guess I'm just going with the Frilled Sea Serpent here. I just need a giant mana dork. And take an unsummon here. Slow our opponents down. Do I have a Brightwood? Yeah, I have a Brightwood tracker in here already, so I don't really need a second one, but I think it's the best card in this pack for us, so I will take it. Take another Ferocious Pup here, and bam, that is now 23 non-land cards in this deck, which means it's basically ready. I'm not playing any of these cards, so I guess I'll just take the rarest one. Well, you know, actually, this is kind of another big thing to ramp into. It's like an 8 mana 10/10? Kinda. And we could put it on like our 0/1 wolves if they're left over. Maybe that's worth it. I'm gonna keep it in the deck for now. We got a pretty late Netcaster Spider. I'm happy about that, as I had to pass it up to take a Sea Serpent. You know what? Yeah, I'm totally just keeping Colossus Hammer in here. Because it's our third big card to ramp into. Sure, it's not the greatest one, but we were looking for things to ramp into. So there they are. Colossus Hammer, Frilled Sea Serpent, and Sephara. The weirdest combination. We're just taking more cards we're not going to play here. I guess squad thing. All right. Let's figure this out. So, need to cut 2 cards. I can definitely cut 1 Brightwood tracker. And just cut just 1 of something else. Maybe just cut like a Centaur Courser. Seems fine. Alright. I'm actually going to turn all my styles off this game, because I usually do that, unless I have like most of the deck styled. Just because, as you can see from like the frame rate of the video, my computer does not run Arena super well, especially while I'm recording, and so the styles just look kind of jankety to me on my computer. I have seen the styles when Arena is running at full 60 FPS and above or whatever, and they're definitely pretty there, but not the greatest on my old hunk of junk. Alright, throw our sleeve on. We've got the lands ready. Unfortunately, I can't make them full art because I have not gotten the final full art yet. That event will start later today at the time of filming, but I will actually upload this video after the video of that event. Because I'm recording this literally right before the final Planecation thing. And then I'm going to record the Planecation thing. So, I'm going to upload the Planecation thing first because it's more timely. It's like, if I upload this first, then by the time I upload the Planecation thing, like, it'll be already almost over. So, I would rather give my thoughts and advice on the event in a timely manner when people can actually use that info, you know? Alright. So, this hand is pretty fine. Doesn't have a whole lot going on, but we have a Brightwood Tracker for the late game here, and plenty of blockers. Even if they are just trump blockers, like 0-1s and 2-2s. Overgrowth Elemental will be our opponent's first play, which is pretty worrisome. I'm going to play a Ferocious Pup here, that way if they don't play an Elemental, they can't really attack into my 2-2. Had I played Netcaster or Spider instead, they could still attack, and then I'd be losing a Netcaster Spider instead of just a 2-2 Wolf, which is slightly worse, which is why I'm playing the Pup first. Looks like no attacks from our opponent. We have drawn a Frilled Sea Serpent, so we've drawn one of our cards to ramp into. You know, just once, I want to see if I can put Colossus Hammer onto the Frilled Sea Serpent, so I have a 14-16 unblockable. That would be absolutely just incredible. I'm just going to play Brightwood Tracker here. Hopefully, I don't just get Chandra's Outraged here. Well, I shouldn't have said a thing. Alright, 5 mana for our opponent. Wolfkin Bond onto the Overgrowth Elemental. Now that thing can start getting in there. I'm just going to take the 5 for now. And do I just double block it with Netcaster and a 2-2? Because with the way my hand is shaped right now, Frilled Sea Serpent is my win con. So you can't just chump it with a Frilled Sea Serpent. Oh wait, Frilled Sea Serpent has 6 toughness. I'm a doof. Alright, well we're just going to block it with Frilled Sea Serpent and hope they don't have like a Giant Growth. If they have Giant Growth, we're just dead. Alright. Well, you don't make that attack unless you have a pump spell for your Elemental. So I can't block that. Because that means they have like +3/+3. In which case, even if I double block, I don't kill it. Because it'll have 7 toughness. I guess they could have Feral Invocation. But just for some reason, I feel like they have just the +3/+3 till end of turn instant. Instead of the +2/+2 flash enchantment. But who knows? They could have something even worse. They could have +1/+1 and double strike till end of turn, in which case, regardless of how I block, I'm just going to lose this game. Alright. So, I can save my stuff to do the triple block, in which case I can kill that, if it's +2/+2 or +3/+3, but if it's +1/+1 double strike, I'm just screwed. Or I can just make the attack and just start chump blocking with one creature a turn and try to outrace them. Because I have to hit them 5 times. That's... Oh, God, that's... I don't feel like that's a race that's going to end very well. So I have to hit them 5 times. They have to hit me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Actually, that might end well. But then, you know, they actually only have to hit me once, depending on what their pump spell is. They have 3 mana untapped. They have exactly... Oh my god. They have exactly Feral Invocation or Double Strike mana. If this is Double Strike, we're just dead. Oh, it's just +3/+3. Alright. Not the worst thing that could have happened, but now we are both top decking. So that's not fantastic. So I am just going to play all my lands out here, because if I draw my Drawn from Dreams, it is possible, but pretty unlikely, to just hit 6 lands in 1 card. In which case, then I can actually play the land and the card in the same turn. You know, just in case, on that super off chance. So it definitely looks like one of those games we're going to be top decking until somebody draws a bomb. I have a Sephara and a Colossus Hammer that could start putting in some work here. And we're not sure what our opponent has, but it's probably something scary. Opponent does have a better board now, so they can just start attacking. Because Fire Elemental does get in for 1 trample regardless. Ooh, alright. We got Sephara. That's going to be hard for a red-green deck to kill, because most red-green removal is going to be damage-based. However, they could have a main-decked Plummet. Oh, yes, Drawn from Dreams. Drawn from Dreams is so good. Alright, Thrashing Brontodon and Octoprophet are the best cards there. Send in Sephara. Drop an Octoprophet, scry some. What do we got? Ferocious Pup and a Forest? I guess I'll keep the Pup. It'll just make more chump blockers. Alright, I think we're going to get there. They've got 1 final turn to draw an answer to Sephara. And even if they do, thanks to Drawn from Dream drawing us multiple cards, and then Octoprophet scrying a dude on top, our field is now better than theirs, even without Sephara. Just because it's gone so wide. So we're in a very good spot now. Lavakin Brawler. And let's see. If they've got the last second Plummet. Oh yeah, they do have a single blocker to chump block at one time here. Leafkin Druid coming out, no reach and no removal spells, so that is going to be the concession from our opponent. Sephara is a ridiculous card, as you can see. So we got 250 experience and 250 gold. Let's head into another game here. Alright. We've got a blue card here, but no blue mana. But other than that, this hand's not awful. I guess everything in here is pretty small as well. I'm still just going to keep it, though. I really, really hate mulliganing, and, like, worst case scenario, we have multiple cards that we can play here, even if they don't do a whole lot. Alright, there's our blue mana. There is our card to ramp into. So I can just Gift of Paradise right now, but because they're in blue and black, that's definitely a color scheme that's going to have a lot of removal or counterspell type situations. So I want to play Frilled Sea Serpent as like one of my last cards. That way I give them as many opportunities to use their removal on other stuff as possible before I play my Frilled Sea Serpent. However, unfortunately, none of my other stuff is scary at all, so it's pretty unlikely they'll use their removal on anything else, but we'll see. Wow, no Bone to Ash there. I was definitely expecting that. We can pattern match for another Ferocious Pup. And they don't have any flyers out, so Metropolis Sprite is fine. Guess we'll just keep them both. No attacks here. No point in attacking with a 2-2 that just gets blocked. Like, nothing bad's gonna come of that combat. It's just tapping our 2-2 wolf for nothing. Alright, 5 mana up. They didn't have any counterspells last turn. I don't know what kind of counterspell they could have for 5 mana that they couldn't play for 4. Because Bone to Ash is like the good expensive counter that I can think of. So I'm just going to play Pattern Matcher and see what happens. Alright, still no counter there. We're going to pick up a Ferocious Pup. And we can cast that immediately thanks to having enough creatures off of the Leafkin Druid. Alright, now there is a slight point in attacking with our 2-2, just in case for some reason they want to block the Octoprophet with the 1-3, we'd still get 2 damage in there. So that would be like if they had a Blade Brand in hand to block Octoprophet and give Death Touch. That would be why. Alright, we are going to Gift of Paradise on a forest. And now we don't have enough to play Unsummon and our own Frilled Sea Serpent, which is unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have exactly enough to play just the Sea Serpent or just the Unsummon. So what is better here? I think it's honestly just better to Unsummon, because that gets a lot of damage in this round. And it forces them to just recast Sea Serpent next turn. Nice. Alright, they're down to 9. We're going to have a Sea Serpent next turn. Alright, here comes their Sea Serpent with 1 black mana up. The black mana is for a Sanitarium Skeleton. That's pretty awful for us. I mean, like, not like the worst thing in the world, just the fact that they have another blocker on the board is pretty bad. So they can actually block 3 things. So they can block a 3-3, a 3-3, and a 2-2 and take 2. Like, if I attack with everybody, I lose a single 3-3 to deal 2 damage to them. That's... I'm pretty sure that's worth it at this point. I mean, they're at 9. And I can't even block their only threat anyway. So the 3-3s aren't really doing anything on blocks. They're just here to get in. Okay. So they're going to take 5? They definitely have removal then. Because if they don't have removal, they just immediately die to Sea Serpent now. Definitely was not expecting that block. That block is slightly worse because I do lose 2 creatures, but still the creatures aren't doing anything on defense. So we might as well sack them to get that 5 damage in there. We'll see if they have the removal. They definitely should. Boneclad Necromancer. They have 2 mana up. Exile Pattern Matcher. Got a 2 mana removal spell? Bone Splinters probably is what's going on here. Yep, there is the Bone Splinters. Get rid of that Frilled Sea Serpent. We're so close. They're at 4 life. No attacks. We'll drop down a Brineborn Cutthroat. Go to my turn. Drop down a Ferocious Pup. We now have 4 attackers, and they have 3 blockers. They will have 4 blockers, though, after they play that Sanitarium Skeleton. I think my game just glitched on me. It still wants me to choose attackers. Oh, there we go. Alright. Just having a little bit of a time there. Alright, now they have way more than enough blockers. So we're going to draw into something here. Alright, they just passed. That's a land. I'm just going to pass. Sanitarium Skeleton is in their hand. Now they get another blocker out. They can start chipping away at me with the Frilled Sea Serpent or the Cloudkin Seer if they still want to cast other stuff. Alright, looks like it's going to be the Cloudkin Seer. Or just not attack at all, because they're a little bit spooked. Here's a Thrashing Brontodon. Sabone to Ash here. Alright. No attacks. Yarok's Fenlurker. Exile my forest. Cool. Alright, well, we're down to 21, so we've got some time to draw into anything, but our opponent definitely has the card advantage. Island is not what we need here. There's Cloudkin Seer back again to draw some more cards. Okay, then. Just sending him with the ground troops. I mean... 3, 4, 5, 6, they can pump that twice? So if they spend all their mana, they trade with an Octoprophet there. I guess I'll just make them spend all their mana to kill a Leafkin Druid if they want to. Well, this is going to be one of those classic losses against blue-black, where they kind of won the game several turns ago, but we're going to have to sit here for like another 20 minutes. I'm just going to no-block it. is like 9 or 10 damage. I guess it's 10 damage if they spend all of their mana on the Fenlurker. Yarok's Wave Crasher. Okay. Guess let's scry some more. I would rather scry some more than get another blocker here, because even if we just keep making blockers forever, we're not going to win that way. Alright. I still don't think we win, but now we have Safara on top. I think it's extremely likely they just have removal. So there's one removal there, but they probably have more. Like a murder or something. And actually, even if they don't have removal, I might just be dead if they just all attack here and then all attack next turn. Do that. Alright, so I'm at 8. I'm at 8 with 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So just block the biggest stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a Vial of Dragonfire to do 2 to me. I'm not actually dead, and they don't have removal. So, let's see. Yeah, they can shoot that. But then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers still. Yeah, I'm not actually dead. Alright. Still not in a fantastic spot, as they probably do have more removal in their deck that they could draw to quickly here with stuff like Audacious Thief. Do I want to risk getting Blade Branded? Oh! Apparently they didn't have Blade Brand. Alright. Yeah, so I think, had they not just immediately conceded there, I would have just blocked that. After thinking about it for a little bit, because if they had Blade Brand, they could just... Next turn I was definitely going to attack with the 7/7 Flying Lifelink, and then they could just block with Cloudkin Seer and Blade Brand at that point. So either way, if they had Blade Brand, I was kind of SOL, so... Should just take the block there, that way I gain 7 on the block and on the attack. And I think that's why they scooped, is because they attacked, trying to immediately draw into something like Murder, didn't get it, so they knew then I could block and gain 7, and then attack and gain 7 again off of their chump block, so it was going to be kind of a downhill battle. However, they still had time to draw removal and win that game, but Safara is a pretty irritating card to see come down to end the game. So I respect the concession. Alright. So that's 2 rounds, 2 wins. We got more to go. I've become the monster that destroyed me in my early drafts. Just always dying to Safara, and now here I am swapping colors into Safara in the 3rd pack. If there's any way to learn how good a card is, it's by getting killed by it over and over again, and then just being like, yeah, so this card's good enough to just randomly splash in, even if it costs triple white. Card is just ridiculous. I probably shouldn't have kept this, but my gut is telling me I will draw a 3rd land. So, that means I definitely won't. Alright, never mind. We're good. We are 100% good. We got the 3rd land. Alright, opponent is on blue and white so far. Could be on more colors. We're going to drop a Plains and a Spider since we're against blue-white. Probably want something that can block flyers, rather than just a 2/2 on the ground. Raise the alarm. Alright. So had I Ferocious Pupped, that would set up the Ferocious Pup into Pattern Matcher as my curve. But I can just drop down Gift of Paradise instead here. Alright. Let's do it. We can just Ferocious Pup into Pattern Matcher later. It looks like we're definitely not going to do a whole lot of aggro here into that Moat Piranhas. Here comes a Heart Piercer Bow and a Heart Piercer Bow. So that is fantastic. My Ferocious Pup will just die the turn I play it. Alright, so I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Well, now it's kind of bad that I didn't pattern match my Ferocious Pup. Because Pup's just going to die. I guess no. Actually, if I play Pup, they can't attack that well. They can shoot Pup for 1 and then, like, Spider for 1. But then I can just block their 1/1 and kill it. So it's actually fine to just drop out the Pup. They don't have great attacks. They might do it anyway, which will be sad, because I do really need the Pup out, but hopefully they don't know that I really need the Pup out. Alright, Fairy Miscreant. That is something that is pretty good to put those bows on. Alright, cool. And now we can play Pattern Matcher and recast the Pup. Well, and cast a new Pup. Let's get out there, little puppies. Many a wolf was formed that day. And we can't really attack into that 3/3. The Moat Piranhas are doing their job. Holding off my forces here. If they attack with that Fairy Miscreant without doing anything, alright. Without doing anything to the Netcaster Spider, I will just block. Unfortunately, they have used removal on my Netcaster Spider, so now they get to throw Double Bow onto the Miscreants. They get to attack and kill a 2/2. Next turn they get to attack and kill another 2/2. Looks like they'd rather just kill these 0/1s. Alright. This is pretty dumb, but I think I'm actually just Rabid Biting a 1/1. I just really do not want them to be able to bow on something that I can't block. Now, I could have also Rabid Bit the Moat Piranhas, and that would let me just get in with these other creatures. But, yeah, I feel like this block probably happens, and then I can just get in with the 2/2s anyway. Oh my god, alright. I'm playing against mono 20 copies of the same card. In before 10 copies of Fairy Miscreant, 10 copies of Heart Piercer Bow. It is a legit strat. Alright, my creatures are all going to die on attacks anyway, so let's get in there. Double block one of them, or just chumps. Alright, double block on a wolf, and 2 of them are getting in there. That's actually super good for me. The Frilled Sea Serpent was an incredible draw. A Frilled Sea Serpent, if they don't just have a straight-up removal spell like Pacifism or something else, actually puts me in the lead this game instead of them. If I didn't have Frilled Sea Serpent out, they would just make that block, throw 2 bows on, kill a wolf, next turn kill another wolf, and then I have nothing left. But since I have a 4/6 instead of just drawing another like 2 toughness creature, I have something that doesn't just die to Heart Piercer Bow. So, hopefully, that means I have something that can get there. Come on, Sea Serpent. I believe in you. More Land Inquisitor from our opponent. Alright, Brightwood Tracker, another thing that does not just die to bow. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we have got some great draws here. Gonna have to send the Sea Serpent in without giving it unblockable, so they can chump block if they want. Looks like they do not want to. But I gotta do that so I can cast my Brightwood Tracker. And this also makes attacking with the Moorland Inquisitor a little bit more difficult now. Because the problem now is that if they want the Inquisitor to get in, they have to shoot Tracker for 2. And then they can just first strike whatever blocks it. Which means that then if I don't block, they don't get to kill any creatures on the attack this turn. So, that's if they want Inquisitor to get in. Looks like they do not. I think that is the correct play. Just save Inquisitor as a little chump blocker. So Spectre. Ooh! Oh my god! Oh my god! All right. We don't. Oh, we don't have enough mana to equip it right now, do we? Oh, we don't. Did I really just get a Colossus Hammer and then I can't do Frilled Sea Serpent Hammer right now? That's so lame! Alright, I'm at 20 life. I don't want to give unblockable right now. I'd rather draw another creature off of Brightwood Tracker. Oh my god. I have the combo. 14 unblockable damage. Soon. They're just going to pacify my Sea Serpent. They're just going to pacify my Sea Serpent. But if they do that, I can just throw the hammer onto the puppy, which is like whatever. But still. Oh wait, no I can't. Puppy's about to die. I can throw the hammer onto Brightwood Tracker then. Wow. Alright, well I'm glad I sifted through all those lands, at the very least. Alright, so because they didn't attack at all, it would actually just be best here to throw the hammer onto the puppy. But we gotta go for the combos, man. My game is lagging out. I gotta check my internet here. Oh god, alright. Forgive me, I gotta fix internet issues while this game is happening. Oops. Oops, oops. Oh god. Yep, yep. Alright, well. Just gotta keep clicking reconnect. Sorry about that. We will be back after a short message from our sponsors that don't exist. Alright. Should be back into that game. I swear to God, if I lose this game because of this internet issue, I'm gonna be really mad. What was that? What was those sounds? Alright. We have a 14-16 Frilled Sea Serpent now. After some technical difficulties, we've come back to this. So next turn we can give it unblockable and hit him for 14. So it's all good. It's all good, man. Alright, Spectral Sailor. Drawing some cards, trying to get pacifism. Come on. Nothing. Have nothing. I need this in my life. I need to hit someone with a 14-16 can't be blocked. Oh my god. Please. Please. Oh! No! Oh, oh. I mean, they looked at their hand. No! Ugh. I just... Oh. Why are you like this? Oh my god. That was the worst. That was the saddest thing. Alright, they've drawn so many cards at this point, now I just have to kill them. That's so sad. I can't... I can't go for Frilled Sea Serpent anymore. I have to just kill him. Or this game is over. Just drawing 1,000 cards turn. Gotta put the pressure on. I do not have time to recast Sea Serpent one turn, re-equip Hammer the next turn, and then give Unblockable the turn after that. I just do not have time for that. If they attack and don't play another creature here, I can just dome them for 12? With a Brightwood Tracker? That means they just definitely have another creature. Like, I should not be getting excited about this. I'm gonna lose this game because I didn't put my hammer onto the puppy. You know, sometimes reality just comes crashing down and it just makes everything the worst. Just makes everything the worst. There's a chump blocker. Oh, hey! Unsummon a chump blocker. Do I have enough mana to do that? Let's see, I need 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do. Do we just get there with Brightwood Tracker then? Yeah, alright. That didn't feel nearly as good as Frilled Sea Serpent would have, but I will take it. I tried, okay? I tried, everyone. So you can't hit on that. I tried to give you all the entertainment, and it just did not happen. Well, I believe that is 3 wins and 3 rounds. God, why is my game just being such a poop right now? What is happening? Okay, there we go. There we go. Whoa! Alright, it's because I'm getting like 1,000 rewards. Alright, we got a Cavalier Flame Mythic Rare. What? What? And how does this happen? I don't want 2 Cavalier Flame. What is this world? Alright, let's do a little pack opening as we're halfway through the draft. 3 wins. I guess if we were halfway through, that would mean I lose the next 3 rounds, because then that would be 3 out of 6. That's halfway through. So let's not say we're halfway. We're slightly less than halfway. We're actually just got a 7-0. Alright, let's go. Go ahead and just put an orb in here. Get a Leafkin Druid. Alright. So after that short hiatus, let's jump back into these games. I still haven't gotten to play my Planeswalker. But she's very cool. So I'm definitely very interested in seeing how well she'll do. So let's see. This is another time where I'm not playing the Planeswalker, but I mean, I'm going to keep this because I'm a doofum. Alright, we're going to play Greenwood Sentinel on turn 2, and then we'll have a Gift of Paradise at the ready, so our mana is ready for Sephara 1,000 turns from now. We do need to draw a single white source in that time. Ancestral Blade it is, very good start. Yarok's Wavecrasher. Alright, now we've got a good, just thick dude to block some stuff. because looks like this Greenwood Sentinel is just immediately getting outclassed. Metropolis Sprites. That is very good to put an Ancestral Blade onto. Because then the Metropolis Sprite will be a 2/3, so they can give it +1/-1 twice, making it 4 power. So they can hit me for 4 a turn with that in the air, which is kind of concerning. Yep, so that's definitely the play. Which is why I didn't block with Greenwood Sentinel there. Because I'd rather have him not die to a 1/1 that is just going to be a 1/1 after this. Griffin Protector. Alright. We are against some aggressive flyers. Might just die before we get anywhere near Safara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But at the very least, we'll be close to Colossus Hammer when we die. We need 2 more mana, and then it's hammer time. Boreal Elemental. Yep, we are just getting slammed in the air here. Down to 14. Thicket Crasher will give Wave Crasher Trample, which does mean that if I put a hammer on it, that'll be pretty nasty. So if I top deck just Plains, literal Plains is my best draw right now, because then I can equip Hammer, and I can cast Safara. I can't do both in the same turn, but I can do one of them. Eternal Isolation on the Thicket Crasher to put it on the bottom of my library. That way, Wave Crasher does not have Trample anymore, so they can just block with their 1/1. So I need Plains. I did not get Plains, so now I am dead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the air is going to end this game, unfortunately, because no white mana. But we got to throw the hammer onto a Greenwood Sentinel, which is cool, because then it's a 12/12 Vigilance. So, at least there was that. But that does mean that if they did not have Eternal Isolation, we would have won that game, because we would have had a 4/3 Trample and a 14/14 Trample coming at them, which is 18 Trample damage against their not enough life. So, pretty close game when you think about it. Even though I did just get crushed by some flyers. Alright, at least it was a fast one. The losses definitely don't feel as bad when they're very quick. Okay. The turn 1 hammer. Yeah, this is a pretty bad hand. We've got no green mana. We only have 2 mana. We can only play a hammer and a sprite. I'm gonna have to mulligan this one here. And this is definitely better. I don't really want to throw a Sea Serpent on bottom because it's one of my only late game plays, but I do only have 3 lands here, so I kind of just have to. Because everything else is like actually just on curve. Sedge Scorpion will start things off from our opponent. 1/1 Death Touch. Can't really block that thing, so that's just going to keep poking me for 1. We've got our Metropolis Sprite down. No blocks. Down to 18. Opponent plays Ferocious Pup. Grabbing a 2/2. I'm going to go ahead and poke him for 1. This Metropolis Sprite isn't going to block anything. The only thing it can block is a Sedge Scorpion. don't feel fantastic about that trade. Alright, here comes a Swamp, so they definitely can have Ferocious Pup, Bone Splinters as a combo coming up. Sage's Road Denizen is a little concerning, except for the fact that they're 3-color, so it probably won't mill me too hard. This is just going to be a game where we just keep poking each other for 1 all game until someone dies. However, I can now poke them for 2. Yeah. And now we've caught up. We're both at 16. And drop down a Thicket Crasher. Probably Bone Dash here? Convolute. Okay. So Thicket Crasher is not going to hit this board. He never even got the chance to exist in the first place. Brine-born Cutthroat seems fine. Oh, it might have been better. Oh, it probably would have been. That was dumb. Would have been better to just use Brightwood Tracker here. Since the game's going pretty slow right now, just getting any form of card advantage is going to be very powerful. So I should have just not pumped the Sprite, just hit them for 1, and then use Brightwood Tracker at the end of their turn. But I still get to just play my Cutthroat here instead. Okay. Let's see if they have another counter. Ooh, they don't. Ooh, they don't. Just gonna shut off that Sedge Scorpion. Poke him for 2. Then we can make a 4/4 flyer. We got to play Mu Yanling. Freaking sick. Sleep Paralysis to Netcaster. Looks like they might be trying to just go all in on Mu Yanling here. Yep. Okay, they must have a pump spell of some form. So let's see what occurs. We just have to hope it's not Might of the Masses. If it's the one that gives +2/+2 or +3/+3, we're fine. Sick. Alright. So she just takes 3. So she's still around. Now we get to play Bronodon. Lower the Sedge Scorpion. Send in the Sprite, and she's safe again. Can also use the Bronodon to destroy the Sleep Paralysis if they ever play a flyer. Looks like there's the scoop. They just don't have enough action going on to get into that Mu Yanling and destroy her. Alright, let's see what this reward is. Is this... What is going on? How does this happen? I'm so... That's my 3rd Cavalier Flame today? What are these rewards even for? They're just like the random mythic rares on the Mastery Tree? There's no way. There's no way. This can't be real. This has to be just like a... Just a visual bug. Like, I probably just got 1. Oh, why am I looking for Mastery Tree? I probably just got 1 and it just keeps telling me about that one. I got 2. It told me I got 3 of them. Okay, well, I did get 2. From 2 random mythic rewards, I got 2 Cavalier of Flame. That much is confirmed. I'm unsure of everything. Wait, did it just tell me I got another booster pack again as well? I'm losing my mind. That was strange. Alright, let's just hop into another round. Just hop into another round. We're 4 wins and 1 loss. This deck has definitely been fine. We're at a pretty good spot here. Pretty good record. Worst case scenario, we're at 4 wins. I'm satisfied. And we have 2 more losses before we're out of it, so we have some time to try to get some more wins here. This is the riskiest hand. But, God, like, you could do turn 3 Mu Yanling. But I'm going to have to mulligan that one, unfortunately. This hand is a bit better, I should say. I have to get rid of Safara, though. Like, this hand, we can actually cast one of these cards, and we can cast most of them if we draw just, like, a forest. Actually, we can just cast all of them if we draw a forest. So, Vampire of the Dire Moon, and a Blood Burglar. No attacks. Alright. Netcaster Spider it is. I do not have double green to cast a Brontodon, and unfortunately, I think I'm actually fine trading Sentinel for either of these, so I'm just going to send in. Unfortunately, I don't even know what I was going to say. I don't have the second green for Brontodon? Is that what I was going to say? Oh, I was going to say, unfortunately, I don't have anything to pattern match right now, so it's just a 4-mana 3/3. Still probably going to play it, but not fantastic. Yep. Kind of just got to play a 4-mana 3/3. We can look at our deck. Look at all these cards. This great stuff. We would have... Oh, wait, that's the bottom. So what would we have drawn next turn if I didn't shuffle? Pup into Mu Yanling? No! I shouldn't have done it. The draws were so good. Well, that's awkward. So we're playing against green, white, black, and they specifically chose to have different land arts. Just to trigger everybody. Alright. Let's... How much do I want something that can block flyers? I don't actually know which of these is more important. I feel like it's probably the spider, because the second I draw a green source, I can have a 3/4 on the ground. I feel like I need to make sure I can block flyers. Moment of heroism. Gonna gain a bunch of life. They're definitely very classic vampires over there. A lot of vampires, a lot of life gain. And there's a Heart Piercer bow. Here's a Brontodon. If that bow ever becomes a major problem, I can blow it up with Brontodon. I doubt it'll get to a point where I want to do that, but I have the ability to do that, which is good. So yeah, bow doesn't do a whole lot here. Actually, it does. It makes sure that Barony Vampire can still attack, because they can just do a damage to Brontodon, so that either way we're trading. So, guess I'm going to have to block with the spider here. But, probably means the flyer's coming up soon. Just pretty nerve-wracking. Alright, just another Barony Vampire. They've got to have, like, Sorin or something. This is a lot of vampires coming down. That's got to be intentional. Maybe they just like vampires. That is a thing, too. They could also have that artifact that gives all of the creatures of the type you choose +1/+1, and then you can pay 3 and tap it and look for another one of that type in your top 3. Icon of Ancestry, I believe it's called. I'm just going to take it here. I have a little bit of time to draw into anything. Ironroot Warlord makes that time a lot less. Gift of Paradise. Okay. Alright, well, I think we got our second loss here. We've drawn a lot of mana off the top. Maybe should have just kept that risky two-lander. Just really gone for Muyanling. But even that wouldn't have done super well in this game because they've just played a whole lot of creatures, and that hand didn't have a lot of creatures. Even if I did get the mana for Muyanling, there was not going to be a lot of defense for her, so I had to hope for a start from my opponent that wouldn't be able to put a lot of pressure on her. And I think they probably could have just killed her. Alright, well, we got another creature, but that Warlord has 5 toughness, and it doesn't even have to attack to give them a lot of value, so I think we're about to just die to this Warlord. Dude is gonna wreck us. Okay. Bladebrand the 1/1. Most unnecessary Bladebrand. But if you want to cycle it anyway just to draw the card, you might as well kill a dude. Ferocious Pup. Well, we're at the point where the only thing that can save us is Sephara, so I guess it's a good thing that we used Pattern Matcher just to shuffle our library, even though our next draws would have been better. But that's the kind of thing, you literally don't know. Like, it's completely random what's coming up next, so there's no real disadvantage to shuffling the library. It just so happened that our next cards were going to be really good. But the reason I shuffled is so that Sephara would get off the bottom. So we could potentially play her later. It just did not work out super hot. I should probably just block that vampire with the 2/2 there. Frilled Sea Serpent. Well, there's a big dork. It only has 4 power, though, which is not good against a 5 toughness creature. 5 toughness is just a whole lot in this format, actually. Like, 5 toughness can't be hit by, like, Air Elemental, Frilled Sea Serpent, Dyarox Wavecrasher. Just a lot of dorks. Just sending in the vampire. Well, now I'm just making myself have to have a creature here, which I do. Alright, well, at least now they won't attack with the Warlord still. But they don't have to, because it doesn't matter what they draw, they can just keep shitting out 1/1s. Oh boy. Yep. We're getting pretty close to dead here. That's 2 guaranteed damage to me right now. Three if I decide to kill Warlord if they attack with everyone. Brineborn Cutthroat. Not fantastic, But at least I get to play that after Heartpiercer Bow's effect, so it's not like the worst thing in the world, where it's literally a creature that dies immediately. At least it's not that. Again, I can't just play this out, because if I just play it out, it just dies when they declare the attack, so we gotta just keep it here. In the hand, all cozy and snug, safe from a bombardment of arrows. I think we're just dead now. I mean, we have 3 blockers. They have 7 attackers. So that's 4 damage to us. Alright, just not sending in the Warlord. Fair enough. Do I even want to send in the Brineborn Cutthroat at this point? I'm just sending it in to trade with a 1/1. That feels so bad, but that's just where we're at. What, take 4? Oh my god, alright. Blocking Skeleton doesn't actually get rid of an attacker, because they can return it and play it again, so that's why I just block tokens. And a forest. Alright, well, we're dead. We are tremendously dead on board. They get to make some 1/1s, and we block the Warlord and die to all the other dorks. So that is going to end that one. See if they have anything else cool. Yes! Yes! They got the mallet. Alright. That was worth it. That was worth not just insta-conceding. Yes! Dude, aw, just attack with just the 11/11. I will not block it. I will not block it, dude. Get in there, 11/11. Alright. Well, that was beautiful. I feel like we had a little moment there. That's cool with me. Alright. So what, we're 4 wins, 2 losses now? Yup. Picking up some fast losses in these last rounds. Not fast in terms of how long the games are, but just fast in that it's just loss upon loss really quickly. Alright. See if we can get at least one more win here. This hand's fantastic. Just very, very good hand here. I'm going to Tranquil Cove first here, because I want to see what lands I'm drawing next to see what I'll need off this Evolving Wilds. Because the problem with Evolving Wilds is I don't know exactly what lands I want right now, because I already have the 2 blue for Drawn from Dreams, so I don't want an island. But I don't know if I want a forest or plains. I want a forest if I don't pick up another forest soon, but if I do get a second forest, I don't have anything that costs more than double green, so then I'll pick up a plains. So, now I still don't know exactly what I want, so I'm just saving this Evolving Wilds to be one of my late lands after I play Drawn from Dreams. So, if by the time I play Evolving Wilds I don't draw a forest, I'm probably going to have to just pick up another forest. But if I do, then I can just have 3 plains out naturally for what's her name? The really good angel thing. just gonna John James here. Alright. Wave Crasher. And a pup, I guess. We don't really need a Leaf Kindred right now. I guess I could Wave Crasher at Forest, and then I've got all of the mana I need for everything, but I feel like I already have plenty of mana for most normal things. Alright, so it looks like next turn is probably going to be the turn that I finally have to decide what I do with this Evolving Wilds. Because I'm finally not going to be using all of my mana. So I should just play a tapped land at that point. So we're playing against blue-black. Dread Presence. That is supremely awful. I actually don't have a 3-power creature right now to kill that Dread Presence. That is so bad. I think I actually only have one card in my deck that requires double green, which is the Brontodon, and only one card that requires triple white, which is Sephara. So Sephara's just better, so I think I just Evolving Wilds for planes here. So I'm going to Yarok's Wave Crasher, pick up the pup. Next turn, if Wave Crasher is still around, I can Rabid Bite the Presence. This is not good. They get to get at least one trigger off of the Presence to kill one of our guys. Which feels pretty bad. They might even just use it to draw a card. Alright, just use it to draw a card. Epicure of Blood. Alright, that is a 4/4. Alright, we got a Brineborn Cutthroat. Let's Rabid Bite that Dread Presence. Because I can't let him just draw a million cards every turn. Now, do I want to just save for Brineborn? Oh wait, I only have one green. I guess that would be a reason for Forest, is because then I can cast 2 green spells a turn. Yeah, that probably would have been better, but you know, Sephara is cool. No attacks. I think I'm just saving to block stuff. Yeah, and throwing out another Ferocious Pup does not change this board a whole lot anyway. It's not like my stuff's really attacking. This is a very obvious Bladebrand or something special. But I'm just gonna make him have it, because I don't know what it's gonna be. Because, like, Bladebrand doesn't change any of this combat. They have Disfigure, -2/-2 till end of turn? Or just nothing? Oh, I should have blocked the Sprite with my Sprite. I don't know why I didn't do that. Just a brain fart there. Took a damage I didn't need to take. Oh, because they wanted to fill up the Embodiment of Agonies? Alright. Seems fine. Oh, why wouldn't you play Gorging Vulture first to fill up your grave so that the Embodiment of Agonies is bigger? Seems like a minor punt. So, me and my opponent are trading minor punts right now. Alright, now I can just play Netcaster Spider and just block the Embodiment with that. Block the Gorging Vulture with my Metropolis Sprites. Unfortunately, they do have 3 flyers, so they will still have a flyer around after this. And I will not have anything that can block flyers. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, what up? Alright. So we just play the 4/6 on the ground. Just that way Fathom Fleet Cutthroat can't do anything, so we're just taking 2 a turn. Alright, well they definitely have Blade Brand, but I'm just gonna make them have it. Oh, do they just have another Fathom Fleet Cutthroat? Is that the third? Oh my god, triple Fathom Fleet Cutthroat? That's a lot of throat cutting. Hey, we got the second forest. Cool. Well, at least we're just taking 2 in the air again. Octoprophet's going to set up their jaws. It's drawing 1 to the top. I do not like that. Not a fan. So just going in there. Oh, nope. Alright. They were thinking about it, and then they let their Fathom Fleet Cutthroat just take the day off instead. Cloudkin Seer. Opponent is getting all of the value. Cloudkin Seer is a card that I used to really, really like, but I've started to like it less just because of how many Heartpiercer bows I'm seeing. Like, the card is just... It's so good in any regular game, but in the meta of, like, 5,000 Heartpiercer bows, it kind of sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, because you still just cycle it, but it just feels awful when that happens. What do we got? Brightwood Tracker. That can let me draw something to change things, possibly. If I can survive that long. There's a Brineborn Cutthroat of their own. Alright. Oh, don't you frickin' do that. Oh, it's just my combat step. I can replay him. They did. Just do that at the end of the turn. Alright. Yep. Well, let's wait till they spend the mana on it. Yeah. Resolve. Badoop. Trying to slow down the damage that's coming at me. Getting hit for 4 in the air next turn. This is the final chance. So I can get hit 1 more time. So next turn I have to Brightwood Tracker into Sephara, or I die. And my opponent may have just left the computer forever. You know, sometimes you don't even need Brightwood Tracker. Alright, here comes Murder. Here comes Murder. Oh my god, if you convolute me, that would feel even worse if it was convolute. Blade Brand? Blade Brand, Murder. They've got to have something at this point. I think I'm just screwed. But I say that every time I play Sephara, and sometimes I just win. Alright, Bone Splinters it is. Well, that's going to end this draft. Because we don't really have another way to win this game. These flyers are just going to poke us till we're dead. See what we got. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Just lands. So, that is Going to end the draft for today. I think probably the biggest problem that we've had with this deck is just not having the enough large game-ending bombs to do once we get to these positions where we have all of this mana just sitting here. So maybe I should have taken that Vorse Claw earlier. And then we would have just like another 7/7. But I think even that, just like a 7/7 that doesn't have trample or anything, wouldn't help the deck all that much. But hey, we got 4 wins and 3 losses. Slightly above average. Slightly above 3-3. I will take it. So let's go ahead and see what we get in our prize pack. See if it's anything good. Drakuseth, Maw of Flames. I have seen this in a Reanimator style strategy, which is hilarious, because if you get this into your grave and then you play that card that resurrects it and gives it haste, that's just brutal. Thing attacks for a 7, does 4 damage to your opponent and 3 to 2 other things. Like, Jesus. This card is pretty insane. So yeah, that's a cool card to own, for sure. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I will see you again very soon for some more Magic Arena content. I was going to say the next video is going to be a Zendikar landfill video, but that's actually going to come out before this one, because I want that one to come out on time, and this one's just another draft. I'll just upload it whenever, so. Thank you all for watching. I will see you again soon.